Oh, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here. I'm Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video for you. Just a rundown of the latest transfer news and the goings-on of today at Manchester United. How are we all doing today, folks? Thank you for joining us and getting involved with the stream and waiting for me to get going. We have been keeping you waiting a few minutes. Apologies for that. But good to see you all. We're on a different webcam today. I'm using my my actual webcam instead of my 20-year-old DSLR or whatever, so probably look a little bit more defined and also a little bit more hideous. So enjoy. But thank you very much for getting in here, everybody. Let's see who we've got going in the chat. Furkan Aaron, what's going on? Jaden, Craw, Nick Pendragon, Stephanie, Nick Morris, Uncaged Squid. What's going on? Mace Windex and the Hoop Man and Berber. Oh, yes. Malps, what's going on? Kingslayer, how are you, sir? Get in there, my son. We've also got Gary Cooper, Superstar, Duke of Rodtown, Mr. Primot, Johnny, John Boy Cat. Hello to you all, the Vutinator, Adewale, Nick Pendragon, and everybody else. Conroy Schuller, Max Martinez, how the devil are you doing, mate? Kieran, Adewale, thank you, Primot. Thank you, sir. Sleepster, On the Head Football, Fat Chinese Gaming, Sir Liam, everybody, thanks very much for getting in here, guys. I appreciate you all, and everybody else as well. Do us a favor at the start of the show. Smash that like button on it. Give us a massive thumbs up. You know it makes sense. Also, share us around on social media if you want. We're pinned to the top of the live chat there. Give us a cheeky little retweet on social media if you want. Okay, so we've got the transfer news to get into, guys. It's not the most amazing transfer news going, is it, really? But let's kick off with it. So, yeah, go on then. Let's just put this. I can't figure out a way to put this anywhere other than the middle of the screen using this particular software, but here we go. So, Man United have made an improved third offer to Chelsea for midfielder Mason Mount. New proposal for, you can just see a beard moving. What's that all about? New proposal for 24-year-old England international worth 50 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Previous Man United bid rejected. It was 45 million plus 5 million. And Chelsea countered with 60 million plus 7 million in add-ons, but we have submitted another bid for Mason Mount, guys. Not really feeling it. Like, I haven't been feeling it this whole time. It seems like a lot of money, guys. We're talking about 60 million quid in all told for Mason Mount. Bad value for money. What a waste of time. But that's the situation. We have put another bid in. It seems like we're just looking a little bit desperate at the moment, aren't we? Ten Hag's desperately trying to get a player in. Don't even really, I don't sort of get the impression that he's just desperate to get somebody in at this stage. And he's been given a certain amount of a kitty. This is the most realistic possibility of bringing somebody in right now. And so he's trying to exercise that right and bring somebody in right now. I can't imagine it's really going to change too many things in the squad. It will give us a bit more quality and depth, but other than that, it's not like it's going to revolutionize this starting 11 in any sort of way or capacity at all. So it is quite underwhelming, guys, but let's just see what you guys are saying about it at the start of this. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Good point, Matty Gwinnett, lad. I hope you're good. He says, I don't know, Pig. I reckon Erik Ten Hag turns Mount into a beast. Yeah, I like your style. I hope you're right, bud. That'd be nice, wouldn't it, if that was on the cards? He's going to have to revitalize this guy and turn him into a beast, isn't he? We've gone over it many times over the last few days. His age is obviously good. He's only 24 years of age. So in terms of development and what he could go on and do in the game, his best years are still ahead of him. So I would like to think that Erik Ten Hag has that ability to revive him and turn him around and get him back on track and, you know, just revitalize his career. But again, I don't really want to have to go and sign players where that is a requirement. I'd rather just go and bring players in who are high on confidence, who have that ability from the off to come in and have an instant impact. But we'll see. I mean, Mount's not a bad signing. Don't get me wrong. He's not a bad signing, but he's also not a good signing. Is he? Not for 60 million quid, I don't think, folks. Only time will tell on that one. AKA Mason Mount Guire. You know, he's awful. Will he be on the Mount Rushmore of bad signings for Manchester United come the end of his United career, alongside the big concrete head of Slabby Maguire on that cliffside, or with Alexis Sanchez next to him, etc.? Will he be on the Mount Dashmore, if you want to call it that? I don't know, but it's possible. Let's hope I'm wrong, and let's hope that he does go on and develop into a really good player for Man United and Ten Hag. He's going to have to do that. If you look at the last couple of signings we've made from Chelsea, they've not been too bad. Juan Mata and Matic. We like to get players in from Chelsea whose surname begins in M. I think that's clear. And if you look at Matic and Mata, those players have done pretty well. Maybe Mount sort of fits into that as well, and he will go on and do some good things for United. I hope so. But let's just ask the live chat very quickly. If you had to give this signing for £60 million a rating out of 10, 10 being absolutely awesome and amazing signing, and 1 being truly horrendous and Slabby Maguire-esque, what would it be? Let me know. Zamiasi, how are you doing, mate? Thank you for the super chat. He says, Cronky out for being tight with the wallet. Zamiasi, it's early days, mate. It's early days for you. It's early days for us. You just feel lucky that you are actually signing players right now. You know, last summer you spent like 200 odd million or something. The summer before that, a similar amount. It's very early in the transfer window, realistically. So just keep your Allens on there, Zamiasi, lad. Nobody cares about Arsenal anyway. Hopefully Cronky, doesn't spend a damn penny this year. 7, time will tell, says Matty Gwynner. Interesting. 4, says Max Martinez. 7, says Berber and Nas and Wiggy. Mace Windick says 2. Adewale says 8 out of 10. Adewale's on that. Good tweeds today. Fair play to you. 3, says Primot. 1, says Kieran. 3, says Philip Chapman. 7, time will tell. 6, says Sing Games. Nice one, Sing Games. 7, says Mikey. There's a reason why Ten Hag wants him. Conroy Schuller says 4. I'm with you, Fat Chinese Gaming, or maybe even Conroy Schuller. I'm with you guys. I think it's like a 4 or a 5 out of 10. In fact, when you consider the amount of money we're having to pay for him, it might even be a 3. It might even be a 3 out of 10. Just on the face of it, perhaps that will develop and turn into a much higher rating after a season or after he's been here for a while. But just on the face of it, after a poor year at Chelsea, a player that I've always considered to be a bit of an average dry lunch, he's pretty average and overhyped in my opinion. The fact we're going out there and paying £60 million potentially for him, that's poor. That's poor business. So I think it's more of a 3 out of 10 myself personally. I'm not feeling it at all. But look, time will tell. You made a good comment a minute ago. Somebody did anyway in regards to Ten Hag wanting him. Ten Hag does want him, and I do want to put my faith in Erik Ten Hag because I think he's done a really good job. The signings he's made have been good. Can't really argue with the sort of impact that they've made by and large. You could perhaps say that we overspent a little bit for Anthony, and that's true. But he's still got bags of potential, and he's still going to get that sort of nurture from Erik Ten Hag over this next coming couple of seasons, and I'm sure he will develop into a really top talent. He's already shown great abilities with goal scoring from distance. He's a bit of a one-trick pony, but he's got a lot of potential still, and he's still young. So other than that, though, you look at all of his signings realistically, and they've all been pretty damn decent, right down to, Sandro Martinez, Casemiro got a bit of criticism when we signed him for so much money, but turned out really good. So I know what you're saying. And obviously Ten Hag wants to play with a certain player, doesn't he? He's bringing in Mason Mount, I think, to be reasonably industrious for us in that midfield. Perhaps to do sort of what Bruno Fernandes does for us, but just to a way lesser degree. So he's looking for a bit more depth and quality, and you do need depth and quality. Plus, he's looking for a homegrown player. So I'm just trying to justify this signing in my mind in that way by saying that, yes, Erik Ten Hag wants him, so let's trust Erik Ten Hag. But me personally, I'm not really happy with the signing for 60 million. Why sugarcoat it? Why pretend? I'm not happy with Mason Mount for 60 million quid, guys. I think it's a bit of a waste of money. But let's ask the chat, guys. Are you happy with the signing of Mason Mount for 60 million quid? Let us know, yes or no, in the live chat. Simple as that. Matty Gwyneth says he had hoped for Weghorst, but he flopped. Mount better not flop like that. Okay, yeah, different vibes though, because Weghorst literally was just like a lone player, wasn't he? And he was always going to be bang average with his history coming in after scoring 2 goals in 20 for Burnley. Mason Mount is coming in with a much higher profile with a huge price tag. That's the difference, really. So Weghorst was always going to be a failure, if you ask me. But no, says Mace Windex. Yes, says Nathan Anazi. Huge mistake, says TJB Links. No, says Kieran. Yes, says Boomian Tactics. No, says Now 76. Fair enough, guys. I mean, I'm with Mace Windex here. Well, apart from the Ten Hag signings bit, because that doesn't really make sense. I'm sick of average players being bought by Manchester United for big, big money. I'm not really sick of Ten Hag signings, though, because I think Ten Hag signings have been really good by and large. I don't think there's anything necessarily average about Ten Hag signings. Maybe a couple of them. Malacia, I guess, isn't an amazing signing. But actually, on paper, when you look at how much we paid for him and the age of the guy and the potential of the guy, and he has had a good season, apart from one or two rough moments, he's actually a good signing. So I'm not too bothered about any of Ten Hag's signings up until this point. But this one has the potential to be a bit of a tricky one, if you ask me. Big fat no, says Ray UMK. He's a bench player, says Cheesy. Yeah. So I don't see how he would really force his way into United's first team. Mason Mount, that is, we're talking about now. And therefore, we're paying 60 million quid for a sort of rotation player. It seems a little bit crazy when we could maybe spend a little bit more and go and get a really top tier player. I mean, a little bit more money, you could go and get Harry Kane, who's going to score you a fuck ton of goals all season long. You know, he might resemble Rodney Trotter from Only Fools and Horses, but he is actually pretty decent at putting the ball in the back of the net. And we need a goal scorer. You could go and get Rasmus Højlund. There's reports coming out that they want about 80 million euros or something preposterous for him. But you could go and get a goal scorer for us, which maybe solves a key area in the team that we have problems in. Whereas Mason Mount is just sort of adding depth to our team that doesn't really need to be there, if you ask me. But there you go. Zamiasi, thanks for another super chat, mate. He says, unless you buy a striker, how will you get through our fortress of Timber and Saliba? I'll tell you how, mate. I'll tell you how we'll do that, right? We'll get Bruno Fernandes to wear a lumberjack t-shirt, mate, with an axe, and he's going to go out and he's going to chop that defense down, my son. Timber! No, I don't know, really, to be honest. You're absolutely right. It's a fair, valid point you've made. We do need to make a signing in that goal-scoring position in the team. We need to buy a goal scorer, a proven goal scorer at that, i.e. Harry Kane, because he is literally proven in the Premier League at scoring goals, which is what we need. But hey, look, yeah, it looks like you're signing Jurriën Timber. It's not on the cards for Man United to sign him, unfortunately. That would be a good signing for Arsenal. It's funny because a minute ago you were coming in here saying, oh, you know, you've got a problem with Kroenke because he's not spending the cash right now. You're signing 65 million or 60 million pound Havertz, and you're on about signing Jurriën Timber, and it's only the 23rd of June. So you need to calm down a little bit there, Zamiasi, now, don't you? And just wait and see what happens. But look, I really hope that doesn't happen, but it looks like it's going to. It looks like it's nailed on. It's a big shame. We need to get ourselves a goal scorer to go and unlock these defenses and score goals against them, because we really struggled to do that this season. By the way, we got over 100 legends in the live chat. Thank you very much, every single one of you legends and legendesses, for getting in here. We've got 65 likes. Keep hitting that thumbs up button if you haven't done so. Help us get to 100 likes just like that. Also, share it around on social media, peeps. If you want to do that, that helps the channel out, helps the stream out. That'd be awesome of you. Give it a share on Twitter or wherever. Drop a like, drop a subscribe if you're new. Get your thoughts and opinions in. We are fully interactive. We get in and out of the live chat when we're on here throughout the show, and we do have a Q&A at the end. So, yeah, get your thoughts in throughout. We'll try and read as many out as possible. That American guy, it's my nephew. What's going on? He says, hello, how you doing there? What do you think of the Mason Mount potential sign in there, Zach? Let us know. FCG thinks that Ten Hag has signed some good players. Martinez, Malacia, Eriksson, Casemiro, maybe Anthony, I think. Exactly, yeah. Other than the sort of goalkeeper that he brought in, and obviously Weghorst, which was just a body to come and bring in like a big slab of meat, might as well hang him up from a hook in the bloody refrigerator and go to town on him Rocky Balboa style, because he was basically just a slab of meat hanging there for no particular reason at all. Might as well give him a workout by punching him a few times. That's basically what happened with Weghorst. Other than that, he didn't really add a lot to our team, did he? It was pointless. So, yeah, that's really where we're at there. Most of the signings Ten Hag have made have been good. This one has the potential to be good, but it also has the potential to stink the gaff up, if you ask me. Like a rotten slab of beef, i.e. Slabby Maguire or something like that. Yeah, good shout. Burberry says, I don't think Erik Ten Hag has made a bad signing. Yeah, even like I said, even like the Weghorst signing, it's because of the fact that the Glazer shithouses are there, and he couldn't go and get somebody better because they were not prepared to spend the money. That's the reality. So that is really the case. It's just the fact that we are lacking funds because of the shithouse Glazers. So we had to go and get somebody, which was Weghorst. Obviously, ideally, we would have probably kept Ronaldo if Ronaldo wasn't such a prima donna meltbag and didn't do that expose with Piers Morgan and all of that. We wouldn't have had to have that issue, and we'd have had Ronaldo still in the team, contributing to the squad, scoring goals. So that's what happened there. We had to go and get Weghorst or somebody, because somebody's better than nobody marginally. So I'm with you about that. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Bruce McIntosh, for getting a comment in there. He says, what about Greenwood? Well, okay. So Greenwood is still understandably training away from the first team squad, right, to keep his fitness going and everything. Manchester United have not made a decision yet. They're still conducting basically an inquiry internally, essentially at the moment, and trying to decide what to do with Mason Greenwood. It's a tricky situation. But yeah, reports have come out that he's not been removed from the squad, essentially. He is still contracted at Manchester United. But the reports coming out today are that the decision will not be made really while the Glazers are here. It's just going to be, it's going to be one of those things, basically. It's going to be a time thing. So we'll see what happens there, guys. But in regards to Mason Greenwood, he's so talented, isn't he? What a player. What a player. It's just such a shame that he is absolutely vermin. Because if he wasn't, then it would be nice to have him in the team banging in those goals. It would be lovely, in fact. He's exactly the sort of player that we need. And he has been since we basically developed him and given him those opportunities. He burst onto the scene. He's been a fantastic player, left foot, right foot, ability to finish, can play on the right side, can play up top as a striker, versatile. Great player. Unfortunately, what a shithouse human being, it turns out. So, let's just have a vote on Mason Greenwood. I'm sort of bored talking about Mason Greenwood because we did it to death a few months back when all this was going on. And we don't even know. We're just playing the waiting game for Manchester United to decide what they're going to do. But do you think that United should keep, sell, or terminate Mason Greenwood? Let's have a little vote in the live chat, guys, on Mason. Keep, sell, or terminate. Berber says, can't be doing with Greenwood. He's finished. There you go. There you go, Berber. I think he's a bit of a wrong one as well. And if we're going to try and be that family-friendly club, can you really have somebody like Mason Greenwood playing in your team? Loan, says Rory C. Keep, says Luan France. How you doing, Luan? Terminate, says Shazad Ahmed. Come with me if you want to live. Zaymiasi, thank you for your super chat here, boss. He says, United get Mount. We get Rice, Lavia, and Timber. You won't have improved, and we will. So how will you finish higher than us then? Zaymiasi, like I just said, mate. It's early days in the transfer window. Do you think we're just going to finish with Mount? You are demented, sir. No disrespect. Thank you for the $9.99, by the way. But you are somewhat demented, Zayn Miasi, lad. I just had to put that out there, lad. It's early days. Of course, we're not just going to finish the transfer window with only Mount. That would be a preposterous summer. Of course, we're going to do more business than that. Ten Hag's got some tricks up his sleeve, I'm sure. I'm sure he's got players highlighted already and picked out to be signed this summer from Manchester United. Problem is, he's having to deal with a bunch of shithouse Glazer meltbags who don't want to spend any money at the moment because they're trying to sell the football club. Until the fucking football club has been sold, it's not going to happen, is it? So we're just waiting. We're playing the waiting game for these prats to go. There you go. Once they are gone, we will have a whole host of top quality players coming in. I bet you we have a better summer transfer window than you do, Zane. I can see it in the stars, mate. As soon as we got Sheikh Jassim in with his billies, coming in with his billies, mate. And yeah, we'll get rid of a few melters. We can sell Henderson, we can sell Maguire, we can sell McTominay, we can sell Martial. We can sell a lot of players. We're going to probably get De Gea off the books at some point this summer as well. So, you've got to be realistic and say that United won't just end the summer transfer window having signed Mount. If you think that, then goodness me, not only are you living in cloud cuckoo land, sir, but you look like you do. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense for that to be the case. So we'll absolutely sign more players than that. Keep your hair on. It's just that it's a shame that it's classic Manchester United and we're taking so much time with our signings, that it probably will be towards the end of the summer transfer window that we've actually got this squad together. We need a goal scorer. We're probably going to go and get Harry Kane. I hope we are anyway. There's reports coming out yesterday. United are not really going to be going in for Harry Kane and all the rest of it. But it's part of the whole summer transfer negotiation. It's not going to be a protracted negotiation dealing with those tosses anyway. And with the Glazers not even selling the club yet, that's delaying everything because we don't have the new owners in yet. Once that's happened, we'll start negotiating for more players. Okay? We will get someone. We will get someone good. And I'm telling you now, I think we'll have a better window than Arsenal this summer. It depends, really, doesn't it? If the Glazer shithouses stay until the end of the transfer window, we're not having a better window than anybody. If we get new owners, then I think we will go out there and spend. And it also does depend somewhat on who we can get rid of because of financial fair play and all that guff. So we do have to wait and see if we can sell some players as well. But realistically, we could be going out there and signing 3 or 4 top-tier players this summer to improve our squad. That's where we're at. But it is frustrating. You think we will, says Shazad Ahmed. Hey, Stefan Harringtonio says summer transfer should happen in January. You what? You think there should just be one window of opportunity, you mean? I mean, fair one. Glazers aren't going anywhere. I'm not so sure. I mean, surely they've got to go. Callum Karen says, glad to see you back, Piggy. God bless you and your family, bro. Thank you very much, Callum Karen, lad. I appreciate you, man. That's very kind of you. Hope you're good and good to be back. Mikey says, Onana improves the high press. Mount improves the final third. Progression is slow but steady. Okay, I like the Onana signing because we can sing the song as well. Onana, what's my name? Onana, what's my game? Onana. You know, I can't wait to do that, to be fair, right? But is that realistic? We have to wait and see. There's still question marks hanging over David De Gea. But yes, I'll get it up on the screen here quickly. So there are some reports on Andre Onana. Here it is. Andre Onana's agent, Albert Boutines, has direct meeting with Manchester United today. Man United are approaching goalkeepers to explore options in case David De Gea leaves. Still waiting for a final decision on that one. Inter won't sell Onana for less than 50 million euros with add-ons. So, depends, doesn't it? If the Glazers go, I think we could sign Onana. If the Glazers were to stay a bit longer or, you know, just delay the whole situation, maybe we won't do that. Maybe we'll stick with De Gea. The De Gea signing to get him signed up to a new contract, although he wants a lot of money for any goalkeeper, it is a lot cheaper than going out there and spunking 50 million on another goalkeeper, although Onana's obviously younger and he's more fitting to what sort of Ten Hag probably wants to do. Like you said, he's more in fitting with what we're trying to do. He helps the overall team with his distribution and his coolness with his feet compared to the likes of David De Gea. And Ten Hag's going to want to go and play a certain way going forward. He's not just going to want to still stick, I think, with David De Gea in goal. It seems like it, because if that was the case, I think with the fact that David De Gea has just won Golden Glove and the legacy he's got at United, i.e. been here for so long and having so many fantastic seasons, I think we would have already signed him up to a new contract. I think that they are trying to sign somebody else and they're trying to improve our position there and bring in another goalkeeper, and they're just sort of exploring different possibilities right now. And Andre Onana is definitely one of those. That's why we've had meetings with his representatives, because we are sounding out the situation. So yes, we are most definitely looking at Andre Onana. And I mean, I haven't seen a great deal of him, to be fair. Obviously in the Champions League final and stuff like that looked fantastic. And he seems like a sort of player that would be a lot more fitting to Ten Hag's style or philosophy going forward. The distribution, the physicality, and he is obviously a really good goalkeeper in general. But in regards to just what we're trying to do, playing out from the back, that's going to only help us. Whereas David De Gea doesn't really help us in that way. In fact, he hinders us quite a lot of the time. And I love David De Gea. I think he's a fantastic player, but you can't say that that's a strength of his. This distribution is gash-tastic, to be fair. He's basically got the distribution of a no-armed milkman. You know, it's a little bit tricky, touch and go. Yeah, he can give you a couple of pints of milk on your doorstep, but he's got to grab the crate with his mouth, and he drops a few bottles, you know? So he's decent, but he's not a great distributor. He's not fantastic. Thank you for the super chat here, by the way, Ian Ernest. Get in there, Ian, lad. Thank you so much. Let's get a cheeky little Sue in the chat there for Ian. Thank you, buddy. He says, Pig, sorry about your mum, mate. Thank you very much, Ian, lad. It is absolutely gash. He says, I think it's gash that De Gea is leaving while Slabhead gets to sit on holiday. Him and Scotty should walk to West Ham for Rice. I like your style. Thank you very much for getting in here with your super chat, lad. That's very nice, Ian Ernest. Thank you very much, dude. And yeah, I'm with you there, bud. You know, you think it's gash that De Gea's leaving? Well, let's have a vote in the chat, guys. De Gea, keep or sell? What would you do? And when I say sell, I don't mean sell. I just mean let him go. Keep or let him go? What do you reckon? Because keeping him poses this problem. You've got to sign up David De Gea, who doesn't necessarily fit in with Ten Hag's philosophy going forward, for huge money. Huge money, guys. He's on what? 350k, 375k a week. Huge money for a goalkeeper. Is he prepared to take a significant pay in his wages? If he is, then maybe there could be some sort of deal done there. But if he's not, that's a big investment. Maybe it does make sense to go and cut your ties with him at this stage and go and bring in somebody else who might be more fitting to Ten Hag's philosophy. So that's really the conundrum is that, yes, we can get him signed up to a new deal if he's prepared to play ball, but I don't see Man United committing that much money to a goalkeeper at the moment, and nor should we really. It's crazy that he was on that amount of money anyway, but he has been a great player for us. And actually, let's not forget what a fantastic player De Gea has been for us. He's been absolutely awesome. He has been awesome by and large throughout his entire United career. But again, maybe now is the time to cut those ties, let him go, and go and get somebody else who might be more suited to what we're trying to do going forward with Ten Hag. Thank you, Bruce McIntosh, for the 279 super chat as well, Brucey. Go on, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate that. Let's get some love in the chat there for Bruce. Thank you very much, Stefan. Says condolences, Piggo, my friend. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, everyone, for all the nice messages recently in regards to my mum passing away. It is obviously a dark, dark time, guys. But thank you all the nice messages, and sorry if I've not got back to you all individually, but I really do appreciate them. I see them all coming in, and thank you so much for all the well wishes and stuff, guys. You're a bunch of legends. It's a tough time at the moment, guys. Her funeral's not for another like 10, 11 days, so it's just trying to get stuff sorted out, come to terms with it and all that kind of stuff, and it's just a horrible time. So yeah, I haven't been doing as many videos lately, but I'm trying to get back onto it, into it, and do more stuff. Thank you everyone who supported this channel while I've been away by staying members of the channel, and people who have just got back here and are watching these streams again after being away for a few weeks. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Roy the Boy Kino. Hey there, Trini Red Devil. Says sell or don't resign. Look what Real Madrid did with Casillas. Time to move on. Yeah, there comes a point where you've just got to say no more. I'll use an example of Joe Hart for a moment here. So Joe Hart, when he was at Man City, you can't really argue with Joe Hart and Man City before Pep came in. Joe Hart was really good for Man City, wasn't he? In fact, he got several Golden Glove awards himself. He was a really, really good goalkeeper for a number of years. Not elite or anything, but for City, he was really solid and really good for them. However, when Pep came in, what's the first thing that Pep Guardiola did pretty much? Well, he assessed the situation and he just said, well, yeah, Hart's a good goalkeeper. He's got a bit of heart, but he's not a great distributor. He's not great with his feet. He's not great at playing out from the back. He's not as cool or calm on the ball as what he'd like. And so he changed the emphasis of how they're playing right from the back to the front, getting rid of Joe Hart. And that's sort of, I think, what Ten Hag maybe has to do in this modern era to take Manchester United forward, is to bring in a goalkeeper capable of doing that kind of thing, you know, that City did, which is get rid of a good shot stopper and get somebody in who's good with their feet and can distribute and play out from the back and all that sort of stuff. So it does actually make a lot of sense. The Vootinator, thank you very much for the likes tally, Vootinator. He says we got 92 likes. Thank you very much to the Vootinator for the tally. That's awesome. Thank you, everyone, for hitting the thumbs up. We've got nearly 200 legends watching in here as well. Thank you for joining us, guys and gals. Only 92 likes, though. That means half of you haven't hit the like. You what? Do us a favor and hit that thumbs up, guys. It's free. If you enjoy the show at all, twat that like button. You know it makes sense. Also, share it around on socials if you want. That always helps us out. We'll give everyone a shout out a bit later on who's retweeted us. The pinned comment at the top has the link to the Twitter. So give us a cheeky little retweet if you want and share it around. Nice one. Thank you so much, Vootinator, for the likes tally, though. That's awesome, bro. I don't know why, but these don't come up on here, which is a shame. They don't come up on it. It's a big shame. Look, it just says face fuchsia tongue out. You know, what's that all about? The emojis don't come up. So sing game, sorry about that, bud. Thank you, Callum Carroll. He says, like the stream, you melters. I appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, so goalkeeper-wise, look, there is big news about Manchester United talking to the representatives of Andre Onana. What's my name? Onana. What's my game? And I really look forward to potentially seeing him at Manchester United. It would mean a big investment in the side. I don't think it's that realistic unless the Glazers go soon, because are we just going to go and spunk that amount of money on a goalkeeper and Mason Mount in quick succession before they've even sold the football club? Don't know. I think it will rage on for quite a while, that link. Mason Mount looks like it's going to be pretty much done. So if you're just getting in the stream, you want to know the latest on Mason Mount, guys. Yeah, we've submitted our third offer for Mason Mount after having the first two bids rejected. David Ornstein says Man United have made an improved third offer to Chelsea for midfielder Mason Mount. New proposal for 24-year-old international worth 50 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Previous Man United bid rejected was 45 plus 5. Chelsea countered with 60 plus 7. And, there was Fabrizio says there's a growing confidence around both Man United and Mason Mount's side to get the deal done, waiting for Chelsea's position on the final bid. So we're just waiting to find out now, guys, what the decision is from Chelsea Football Club, whether or not they'll accept that, if that's enough for them, and they'll let him go. It's definitely enough. If they have the audacity to reject that third offer, then we absolutely need to walk away from Mason Mount. In my opinion, we should walk away from Mason Mount anyway, because he's too much money for what we're getting. Neil Duffin says, Arsenal, more chance of a chicken fried rice than Declan. I like that one. I hope you're good today, Neil Duffin. Get in there, my son. And Eddie's Football Waffle, welcome in. Says, good day, Don Pigo. And all the rest of you beauties in the chat, just pop it in to drop a like. Still at work right now. Hope we stop the Mount crap and get Caicedo. Yes, Eddie. Well said, sir. I'm not the only one that doesn't want Mount then. I think it's such a waste of money, bud. Okay, let's ask the chat. Would you walk away from Chelsea's, counter offer if they were to ask for any more money, guys? Buy Mason Mount for 65 million or walk away. What are you guys saying? I think we should walk away now at 60 million anyway. We're essentially what we've supposedly put in is a 55 million pound offer with 5 million in add-ons. An absolute rip-off. It's way too much money for a bang average Chelsea mate who's basically sat on the bench for the last year and not done that much. He's really not all he's cracked up to be. But there is that whole potential that everyone's talking about. Ten Hag can revitalise him. Ten Hag can get him back on track. We might as well go and sign Piggin Dele Alli then. You know what I mean? If that's the requirement of Ten Hag. I don't understand the appeal to this signing. Mount is shite, says Andy Young. I'm with you. FJT says walk away, no money. Mount's pretty skilled, but 55 tops, says Orlando. Walk, says Philip. Walk, says Eddie. Walk away, says Steve Buckley. Absolutely. Nick Pendragon, I hope you're good. He says walk away. Yeah, it's too much money. 60 max, says Tactics Gaming. You know what's going to happen, though, guys? We will get this guy in. He will sign for Manchester United. I think it's pretty much, we never say this on this channel until these things are actually done, but I do think it's pretty much done because United are starting to almost be a little bit desperate. We're starting to panic a little bit. Ten Hag's maybe just very disappointed and frustrated with how things have gone at the start of the window, not being able to bring anybody in yet. And so he wants to get somebody in who's going to help the squad, and Mason Mount will help the squad. He's English and he's 24 and he's got potential. So, yeah, I think it's going to get done. Plus, it's not like we've not gone in with a really great offer. £55 million, guys, plus an extra 5 million in add-ons for Mason Mount Guire. That is an obscenely good offer. And if Chelsea reject that, they're absolutely foolish. They've got to try and balance the books a little bit with all their spending last year as well, spending several hundred million on players. And they've got to try and make it work. They've got to balance their books. They've got rid of Havertz to get rid of Mount. That's going to go quite far in doing so. So I think they will snap our hands off at 60 million quid. And if they don't, walk away. Absolutely couldn't agree more. Walk away from that craziness if they're asking any more money than that. Vutinator, thank you, bud. 125 likes. Get in. Thanks, everyone, for hitting the thumbs up button. Chelsea want to mount us, says Gates. They do, don't they? I know. At least, warm up the oven first. It's kind of a disgrace, really, what they're expecting to get for him. But it seems like United are quite happy to go and pay that. Run away and try to get some Rice. Okay, guys, let me ask the live chat this. Would you rather... Now, this is a big if because as we've discussed it in recent years, or recent streams, I should say, there's other teams that are interested in Declan Rice. So you've got Declan Rice, plus he's a lot more money, right? Declan Rice, let's just say cash-wise, £100 million. That's probably what it would take to buy him because it doesn't look like West Ham really want to do business for any less than that. But we could include a player in a swap deal, but that's a little bit airy-fairy. Let's just get away from that. Let's say £90 million for Rice, plus a couple of add-ons maybe, or £60 million for Mount. What do you do? Do you sign Rice for 90 million or do you sign Mount for 60 million? So one of them would cost 50% more than the other. That's a significant amount more. But is he 50% more player? I would argue that he is. And I would argue that he could go on and do some pretty amazing things within the game. So I would argue that he is. Whereas Mount, I feel like it's more of just like he's a bit of a workhorse, That's all he really is. Whereas I think Rice has got potential to be absolutely world class. So that's the difference there, really. So I would rather pay a bit more money and get Rice. But the ideal situation, we don't want to spend that amount of money. The ideal situation would be to go and get Rice, but to be able to offload a couple of players in the opposite direction, i.e. McTominay or Slabby Maguire or both. That would be the dream scenario, because then we could be in keeping with that Mount figure. We could perhaps spend around about £60 million and get rid of a couple of melter players at the same time. There you go. Sin Game says 70 million with Maguire and McTominay. Callum thinks Rice is worth 60 million max as well. Well, probably realistically, you're not far off the truth. It's just the fact that it's difficult because West Ham do not want to sell. He is a really good player with bags of potential, and he's got that English premium, and he's got a lot of hype behind him, Declan Rice. So you would never be able to buy him for 60 mil. But in terms of actual value, yeah, no player's worth more than that, if you ask me. But you have to pay that premium in order to convince the selling club to sell, and that other premium for the English player and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm almost with you, Callum, but I do think to get him, you have to pay a lot more than you would for Mount. Yeah, Berber says Mount, that extra 30 million nearly buys Højlund. Precisely. So Højlund's valuation is somewhere around about 80 to 85 million euros. That's what they're asking for. It's crazy money, but that would get you a really good, young, hungry player who could come in and transform Manchester United's forward line and get us goals. He's got pace and he could score goals, and he's only 20, right? So it would be a fantastic addition, I think, and probably give us somebody that could help us to rival City and Haaland and those Melts for a good few number of years. So that's the idea there, really. But yeah, we've got to do that, don't we? We've got to go and get a goal scorer. Rice is a leader, says Mace Windex. Spot on. Yep, Steve Buckley says Rice for 80 million plus Slabhead. Good shout there. Hi there, Pierce. What's going on, bro? Neva, Caicedo is what I go for. I like that as well, Boomy. Neva, get Caicedo. Love it. Absolutely. I know. Why are we spending 60 million? Great shout. So we just did a little comparison between Rice and Mount. Obviously, different sort of players anyway. Let's talk about Caicedo. Caicedo, you're absolutely right. It makes a lot more sense for us to go and get him. I think he's better in all areas than Mount. And if you're going to go and spend that amount of money, you might as well at least go and get somebody who's a Rolls Royce. Basically, Mason Mount's like spending Rolls Royce money to go and get a pig in Robin Reliant. What happens with a Robin Reliant when you try and take it over 60 miles an hour around a corner, mate? It falls over. We don't want to spend huge money on a Robin Reliant when we could go and get a Bentley or a Rolls Royce or a top tier player. That's what we need. I feel like we're turning into Trotters independent traders at Manchester United. Certainly have been under the shithouse Glazers, haven't we? If we sign Harry Kane, we'll have Rodney Trotter up front incarnate. It's not far away, is it? Marlene, it's not far away from being a bunch of wheeler dealers as it is and not being able to sell things down the market stall. Hey, sleep tight. Thank you for the super chat here, boss. I appreciate you. He says, Piggy, we missed you and it's so good to see you. And I'm sorry for your loss. Also, do you think we can get Rice? Sleep tight. Thank you so much, but I appreciate you, buddy. And it's good to be back, lad. I missed you too. Okay, so do I think we can get Rice? No, no, to be honest. I mean, yes, we can have a bid in for him, but if there's actual interest from Manchester City, which there is, they are known to be interested. In fact, they submitted a bid yesterday, didn't they, for Declan Rice? It's known that also Arsenal are going to be going in for another try at getting Declan Rice in as well. And so, therefore, I think the chances of Manchester United actually being able to sign Declan Rice are maybe like 10 or 20%. I don't think it's the highest probability because let's just be real from an objective point of view. Of course, I love Manchester United and I know the history of this great football club. But if you compare the current trajectories of the two teams between City and United, at the moment, Man City just won the treble. They've just won the treble. They've got all the money. They got Sheikh Mansour and all these billions, and they're not afraid to go and spend it. And even if they do spend it and don't adhere to financial fair play, then it doesn't matter because they just spend more money and make these problems go away. So if you're a player who wants to win things, they've also got, let's face it, one of the greatest coaches in the world there as well. They've just done a clean sweep of the competitions that they've been playing in last season. If you're Declan Rice, you would probably end up wanting to go to Manchester City. If you've not got an affinity with Manchester United in any way, and it's just from a completely impartial stance, you would probably go and play for City right now because they are the best team in the league, rightly or wrongly, and it's wrongly because they're cheats. But rightly or wrongly, they're the best team in the league right now. So if they come knocking, they've got the money, they've got the spending power, they've got the ability to lure him in. Plus, they know that they've just got rid of Gundogan. He's just left on a free. So they sort of want to go and get another quality midfielder, don't they? And so I do think that he will end up going to Manchester City, Declan Rice, unfortunately. But let's ask the chat just for fun. Declan Rice, what's his final destination? Well, not necessarily his final destination, but what's his next destination, guys? What do you think? I think Manchester City, sadly. Yeah, Arsenal were sniffing around, and I suppose that's a possibility, but it's not that realistic, is it? Because Arsenal were shite. Man United, maybe if Sheikh Jassim comes in tomorrow and we just go and pay him more than Manchester City would be prepared to pay him, it's possible. But I don't know. I just don't see it happening. I think he's going to go to Man City. Thank you, Sleep Tight. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, Wessex Mercier. Thank you, Wessex Mercier, bro, for the super chat of justice here. He says Højlund is the B-Tech Haaland. I can't believe you just said that, mate. No, fair enough. Look, okay, B-Tech Haaland, you say that, right? But he's younger at the moment. He's a couple of years younger. He hasn't had the time to develop in the same sense that Haaland has had. People were saying about Haaland, oh, when he comes to the Premier League, he's going to essentially, struggle. He didn't do that, did he? Haaland scored 36 Premier League goals and broke all the records this season. He didn't struggle. People will be saying the same thing about Højlund. Now, in a lot of ways, I understand what you're saying. He is a bit of a B-Tech version, to use your words, because he's got that pace and power and everything, and he's got that ability to score goals. But it's no bad thing having like a sort of carbon copy of Erling Haaland with that sort of level of potential as well. And he does have that level of potential to go on and score insane goals, tallies, and, things like that going forward. So I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. But yeah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Me personally, I'd rather see Harry Kane sign for a couple of seasons because of his ability to score in the Premier League. It's proven. You heard Rice is going to Arsenal, says Stefan Harringtonio. That must be a Chinese food order that they've made, mate. Because there's no way in hell that Declan Rice would choose Arsenal Højlund over Manchester City if they're both in for him. Surely, surely. I don't understand it. Why would you want to go and play for Arsenal, realistically? They're not going to win anything, are they? Manchester City will, though. And if they're in for it, then that makes sense. But it must be a Chinese food delivery you're talking about there, my son. They've ordered a cheeky bit of egg fried rice, mate. West Ham want Maguire and McTominay. A deal could be done. Johnny, wishful thinking, isn't it? I hope so. It could be done. You're right. Could is the key word there. Certainly, we could sell a player to get a little bit of cash to West Ham. I think that they are genuinely interested in Scott McTominay from what I've been reading and seeing. I think Moisey likes a little bit of Scott McTominay action. So you could see him sold to West Ham. And even in a swap deal, that would make sense to bring that price tag down for Declan. That would be really good. I would like to see that. But is it that realistic? Not really. Because as I've mentioned, the other teams that are interested in Declan Rice, just at the moment, maybe could lure him there ahead of Manchester United. Yeah, no, you're right, Steve Buckley. No, let's not get away from the fact that they're complete cheating bastards. Completely agree with you, Steve, lad. Absolutely. Break open another one for me, lad. Point is, Pig, they're cheating gets. Spot on, you're absolutely right. They are cheating bastards. You can't get away from that. Let's just hope, and it is a big hope because I know that they'll just make their problems go away, but let's just hope that they get punished. That's what we're hoping for. Manchester City get a big old punishment coming up soon, which means, I don't know, a big points deduction at the very least, but ideally, I don't know, relegated to the conference or maybe having some of their titles removed from them. That would be lovely. That would maybe restore some of the status quo in the Premier League because they have just bought their success and they've done it by breaching financial fair play. So, yeah, they're cheats and they should be punished for being cheats. Absolutely. By the way, the live chat's absolutely popping off today, guys. Thank you, every single one of you, for getting in here and having your say. Q&A coming up at the end of the stream. But for now, smash that like button. We're on 139 likes as of right now. That's awesome. Keep hitting the thumbs up button, guys. It's free to like. It helps us boost up on the YouTube algorithm and compete with clickbait, wank stains, and corporation mugs. So please do hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so. It's free to do so. Smash the subscribe as well if you're new, because we're on here covering all the latest news in a no bullshit, no clickbait way. We're not just going to be one of these channels, and never have been, that would just pump out done deal bullshit or this player, that player, imminent and all this rubbish, because, it's not true. Nobody actually knows. It's like people are saying Mason Mount's done right now. I've seen people say that right now. Mason Mount done. What a load of old shit. Now, it may well be very much advanced. It is very close because, let's face it, Mason Mount has made his position clear at Chelsea that he wants to go. We've put in a £60 million bid altogether with a $55 million up front, 5 down the line. That's too good to turn down. So it looks like it's going to go through. But it's not done yet, folks. You know, hold your horses. It's not done yet. There's still time for Chelsea to be a little bit greedy, maybe. There's still time for Man United to wise up and realise we're spending 60 million on an absolute average melt. Let's go and spend this money elsewhere. There's still time for that to happen. Stranger things have happened. So, you know, just wait and see what happens. But in order to find out what happens in a no bullshit way, you better make sure that you hit that subscribe button, because we're going to be on here daily with all the latest United news. Nice one, yeah, and give us a cheeky little bell click as well. Click the bell, that will notify you when we post live. Done by 9 p.m. you reckon, says Berber. I don't know. I think it'd probably be a few days, but if that's what you're talking about in regards to Mason Mount. But yeah, you know, of course it will be a few days, because they've got to have medicals and things like that. So, you know, I think it will happen though. You know, don't get me wrong, I do think it will happen, but it's certainly not been done yet. It's absolutely not been done yet. Exactly, Rory. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, and I don't see no fat lady. Precisely. Well said, lad. Manny Slouflaki, how's it going, bro? Thank you, Manny Slouflaki, for getting in with your thoughts. He says, Mount is shite, mate. He's not all that. We should offer less than our initial offer. What other club is competing with us? Nobody. So why offer more? Can we just get a round of applause in the live chat for Manny Slouflaki, please, guys? Talking sense, this man. He's talking pure senses, Manny. He's absolutely right. Why the hell are we offering loads more money in such a short space of time as well? Make them sweat a little bit. You know, why the hell are we? Oh, we have a little bid rejected for 40 million. Right, instantly go back in there with another 50 million pound bid. We have that rejected. Instantly go back in with a 60 million pound bid. What? Man United are the kings of protracted negotiations. Why the hell are we trying to get this one done so quickly and give those Chelsea scummers exactly what they want? I couldn't agree more with you, Manny. It makes zero sense. Plus, I agree with your first sentiment that he's shite. I think he's pretty average indeed. We're getting bent over for this deal, in my humble opinion. 60 mil. I mean, look, Ten Hag knows best and all that guff. But just on the face of it, it's not a good deal for Manchester United, is it? It's a 3 out of 10, like I said at the start of the show. 3 out of 10 signing this one. Piss poor. For the money, it's bad. If you could have picked him up for 30 million quid, maybe even 40 million quid maximum, then yeah, it makes a little bit of sense to go and add Mason Mount to your ranks just to get the depth in the squad and a homegrown player. But other than that, 60 million quid, we're talking about world-class player fees here. Or certainly add a little bit more and you can truly go and get a world-class player. I mean, how much more would Harry Kane cost than that from Spurs? Not a horrendous amount more, because he's only got a year left on his contract. So I will never understand it if we sign Mount for 60 million quid. It is too much money. But I do trust in Ten Hag, obviously, and if that's who he wants, fair play. But what's he smoking on? Amsterdam's finest. Premot says Ten Hag doesn't want Mel to Mount. Well, you say that, but why are we going in with all these bids then? We could just go in and put a little bit extra money together, go and try for Rice. We could try for Caicedo. We could try for De Jong even. We could try for other players, but no, it seems like we're dead set on this Mason Mount melter. We've had a few bids in now already in the space of a week. A couple of them are rejected, and we're just waiting to find out the last one. So I don't know. I think he is definitely interested in him, but I don't get it. Mount, bang average at best, says Stephanie Griffith. Well said as well. Well said. We have to trust Ten Hag, Steve. Yeah, fair play. Berber says Mount had a bad season. He's been written off. Rashford was shit for years and kept getting chances. Different though, isn't it? If you ask me, the potential of Rashford, and when you see him on his best day, it's a way higher ceiling than that of Mason Mount. Mason Mount is Monsieur Average in France. He's super batting average. Whereas Rashford, okay, he did have a bad 18 months. I'll give you that. He was shy. But before that, he was really good, and he showed glimpses of perhaps going on to be a fantastic world-class talent. And he's proven that in the last year by scoring 30 goals in all competitions for us. He's still developing at 25. There's only a year in between them. I don't think you can really compare. I feel like Rashford's done a lot more in the game than Mason Mount up to this point. So, yeah, fair enough. He was written off for a while, and we stuck with him, and he went on to do good things. And let me just say another differentiating reason why this is different. Because Mason Mount's a fucking Chelsea twat. And Marcus Rashford's man born and bred. And we should stick with him and give him a little bit more time to maybe fulfill his destiny, rather than just chuck him to the wayside, you know? Mason Mount, on the other hand, though, he's a Chelsea reject. He came from the reject bin. We're shopping around in the reject bin. That's what's going on with Mason Mount, and I don't understand it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, Rashford's different. He's Manc born and bred. He's a homegrown talent. He comes through the books at United, and he's shown great glimpses of having a really high ceiling, potentially in the future. We were talking about Rashford as what sort of a price tag would Rashford have yesterday. What do you reckon, guys? You're talking 120 million quid. He's double the player of Mason Mount then, isn't he? If you were to sell Rashford tomorrow, and maybe not tomorrow because his contract's running down, so he's not got that long left. But if he had 3 or 4 years left, he would be a 120 million pound player. So he's much better, isn't he? It's different. He's just a much better player. And he had much more potential even a year or two ago when he was doing shite, if you ask me. So yeah, Mason Mount's decent, but that's all. He's okay. How was Havertz 60 million? Don't know. Absolute joke, isn't it? What a ripoff. Raggy dolls. Absolutely singing. Comes from the reject bin, lad. Mount says Caicedo is a United fan. Mount is a mercenary. He's a Chelsea scummer. Exactly, Callum. He's Manc born and bred. Berber says Manc born and bred, but twerks for PSG. Maybe so. I mean, nobody's perfect, but I think fundamentally what you're going to see Marcus Rashford do is sign himself up for a long-term deal at Manchester United this summer, 5-year deal to take him up to 30 years of age. And you'll probably see him commit his future to United for less money than he could probably go and get at PSG. He would definitely get more money at PSG, I think. I know we're on about paying him potentially 375k a week, but you look at PSG's model of signing players over the last few years. They sign these world-class, huge-name players, and they bring them in on free transfers a lot of the time because they can pay them huge sign-and-on bonuses and huge wages compared to what maybe other teams can do because they simply don't have to go and pay a transfer fee. So PSG did that with a lot of players in the last couple of seasons. Sign them on a free transfer, but give them huge astronomical wages. And that's what they could do with Rashford. I reckon Rashford could get more money going to PSG. So it might be twerking a little bit for PSG, but fundamentally it's a bargaining chip to get him his big bumper contract at Manchester United, which is what he wants. I think that's truly what he wants. So, I stick with Marcus Rashford. I love a bit of Marcus. Piotr Thompson says again, reports/rumors from Holland that Ten Hag is seriously considering resigning from United. It could be a disaster. Good to have you back. Thank you, Piotr Thompson. It must be really frustrating being Erik Ten Hag, just trying to decide how to go about this summer transfer window. I mean, we're going off on a tour very soon. It's only a couple of weeks away until it starts, really. And it's nice to have a squad together to be able to work with before the actual proper season starts. So I'm with you, mate. I mean, I would be feeling very disappointed if I was Ten Hag as well by how we're handling things at the moment, recruitment-wise, and also being able to get rid of certain players in the squad. It's just a shit show. But it is also down to the fact that we're trying to sell this football club, and it's not going to be easy to sell. It takes time, and the Glazers are here trying to do what they can to get as much as they can. So that's what's holding everything up. But it must be frustrating for Erik Ten Hag. 375k is way too much. I agree, Kingslayer. I do agree. I think he's worth 300k a week, though. He's just scored 30 goals a season for us, and his value is very high because of his current state and reputation and age and history and Manc born and bred status and everything. It's a high price you have to pay him. He's on 200k now. You're essentially going to be signing up for the best years of his career. Marcus Rashford from 25 to 30, he's going to need 300k at least. But he supposedly wants 375k. I mean, you can't blame him for wanting more money. You can't blame him for trying to get as much money as possible. That's modern football. They've all got these grubby agents. Gone are the days of Paul Scholes, who just goes in to see the boss and says, "Right, boss, what's my new contract like?" And Fergie goes, "Yeah, son." He goes, "Yeah, that seems good to me." Those days are over and long gone. It's all about these agents and all about trying to get as much money as you possibly can now. And it is probably his biggest contract he's ever going to get in his career now. And his only chance to get that big contract. So I don't blame him. I don't blame Rashford for trying to get as much money as he possibly can. It's not our money, is it, essentially? It's the Glazer shithouse's money or, the new owner's money. So I don't blame Rashford. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. Eric will manage Barca in the future, says Malps. Could be interesting. Andy Young says, "Pig, I've had 2 Mason Mounts today. And after eating, I think I need another one." Berber says he can jog on and take Sancho with him. Berber, put the pipe down, lad. You've had too much ayahuasca today. Berber's currently on a little trail through the Amazon rainforest with a shaman, and he's currently smoking ayahuasca. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Rashford going? Why would you want Rashford to go, lad? Rashford had a great season for us this season, just gone. And he's developed into a great player. Okay, Sancho's been shy, and he's not been good enough. But seriously, bud, put the ayahuasca down, mate. You know, I'm the pig, by the way. This isn't God you're talking to right now, just in case you're not sure, you know? But either way, no, Rashford deserves to stay. He's had a great time. He's a great player. He is actually a fantastic player, mate. That's what I don't get. He's consistent to a point where he scored 30 goals for us this year. Yeah, he was shit for a while. He was playing with a broken back. He was playing with a broken back, mate. And Solskjaer ran him into the ground a little bit too much by giving so much emphasis on his shoulders there. He was playing with a broken back, mate. Like Mike Tyson. I broke my back. Spinal. Remember that, guys? He was playing with a broken back, mate. You know? Erik will join his boy De Jong at Barca the way this shit show is going. Ollie destroyed Rashi, says Mounts. Yeah, you see, look what Ten Hag's managed to do. I mean, this season will tell, won't it? This season will tell in regards to what Rashford's going to do with the rest of his career. Because it would be quite easy to say he could continue in the same vein as last season. Maybe Berber's right. Maybe he signs a big bumper money contract and he ends up just going missing again. It's possible, but I just think the qualities that the player has, he's not the most skillful, he's not the most venomous, he's not the most clinical, all the rest of it. But tell you what he is effective. He is super direct. He is super dangerous in the final third. So I think he's a great player. We've got to keep hold of him. I love him. And I like him, and I like his abilities, and I hope that we keep hold of him. I really do. I would hate him. Just imagine the alternative, though, if we were to let him go for nothing in a year's time and he goes and plays for PSG on a free or something. Nobody wants that. We all want to keep Rashford. What's up, Rashat V? How you doing, boss? You'll accept the apologies when it happens. Maybe, says Berber. Fair enough. I think you'll be waiting a long time. Ollie destroyed Martial too, says Eamon Barrett. Did Ollie really destroy Martial, or did Martial destroy himself? Martial is the perennial melter. He is Mr. Inconsistent, a.k.a. the sulk, a.k.a. the invisible man, a.k.a. sick note. He's always bloody injured, and when he's not injured, he needs everything to be just so. I call him Goldilocks, because if he just needs everything to be just right. You know, he could go into the Bears house. He could go up to Daddy Bear's porridge, and he would say, no, that's just too hot. Don't want that. He'd go up to Mummy Bear's porridge. That's too cold. He wouldn't want that. No, he'd have to have Baby Bear's porridge, just the right temperature and the right portion size. Otherwise, he's not happy. He's the incredible sulk, that guy. That's what's very disappointing about Tony. And so, therefore, I don't think Ollie did break him. I think he just broke himself. I think he's just a shite player who needs everything he needs to be mollycoddled. He needs everything perfect. And even when even when he has got everything perfect, he gets injured. Alex Core says, we love McTominay up here now. It's because he's actually good for Scotland, isn't it? Mental. I think he's like second or third in terms of qualifying goals in the table so far for the European Championship qualifying. Pretty impressive time of it he's having on an international stage, Scott McTominay. 5 goals he scored in qualifying, I think. Keeps on scoring. But fundamentally, he's shite, though. And, just because he's doing it for Scotland on an international stage certainly doesn't mean he can do it for United. I know why you guys love him, though. Fair play. He's a decent lad. He tries his hardest. He puts his shift in. But he's technically flawed. That's my issue with him. And, remember in January when he had a really decent time of it with Scotland, and then he came back and we were saying, oh, he might be decent because he's been playing well for Scotland. Wasn't the case, really. Continued in a shite vein of form for United. He's just average. Hey, Rushmano, what's going on? He says, Inter's owners love Martial. Offer him as part of an Onana offer. Job done. Love that. Absolutely. What a brilliant shout. And there's other teams that would potentially take him as well. So, Inter's definitely a good shout as well. Try and offload some of these players in a make-weight swap deal if you can. That'd be brilliant. And then there's other players, absolutely, that we can maybe get rid of. But certainly Tony should be offered to other clubs as a potential, swap. So even if we were to go in for, say, Harry Kane at some point, you might as well try and include Tony in the deal. They might want him. It's a forward player. You know, so yeah, stuff like that. That's a good shout, Rushman. I think you're absolutely right. Berber says Eddie can't stand him, mate. Never will. He's a headless chicken who had a purple patch. Berber's got some hatred for Marcus Rashford. Fair one. I don't get it. I understand for a while he was pretty poor, but the way I look at it, Marcus Rashford was good for a season, good for a season, good for a season, bad for a season, bad for half a season, and then immense for a whole season. That's good, 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 bad, bad, immense. That's not bad. That's not bad, is it? I'd say give him a bit of faith, and he'll probably do great things in the future. I love Rashford. Mason Mount rejected, says UK Strains. You're talking guff, aren't you, UK Strains, lad? Kashkai, they would be off their head to reject another bid from Manchester United. 55 plus 5 is an absolutely great bit of business for Chelsea scum. Kashkai King says Slabby was the same shite for his club, but didn't have a bad game for his country. Spot on. Well said, Kashkai King. Never been able to criticise Harry Maguire too much, apart from when we played Italy recently and he just gave them a goal. But you haven't really been able to criticise Harry Maguire too much playing for England. It's because styles make players a lot of the time, and Southgate's England suit Harry Maguire a lot more than Ten Hag's Manchester United. He's been piss poor for Man United and will continue to be piss poor for Man United unless we get rid of him. And the same goes for Scott McTominay. Eddie says, Pigo, well calculated, averaging out pros and cons. Every player's allowed a blip. I mean, if you were to get rid of a player the first bad season that they have, then a lot of players would have been got rid of quite a lot of times throughout their careers. Certainly David De Gea would have gone like 6 years ago or something, you know, but we stuck with him after having one bad season, and then he was able to give us some brilliant, brilliant campaigns. So, you know, you can't judge a player on one season, I don't think, or even a season and a half. You've got to judge him on many a season. Sancho's had, what? How long have we had Sancho for now, guys? It's just it's 2 seasons, sorry, yeah. See, Sancho is getting to the point now where it's like, you are bang average, lad. If it was just 1 season, you can live with it. But we've had him for 2 seasons now, haven't we? And he has been pretty lackluster that entire time. So he's got to step up. Otherwise, it's time to go. And if an offer came in, a big offer for Sancho, we'd sell him, wouldn't we? But the reality is nobody wants him. He's too much money. He's on too much money. Yeah, Mikey, thank you. Says Onana's high pressing style might suit Maguire's slow reaction speed and cover his deficiencies. Unfortunately, I can see Maguire staying. Bloody hell, he's going to have to be some goalie, mate, in order to cover Slabby Maguire's deficiencies, lad. But no, yeah, okay, in terms of rushing out, in terms of having that ability with the ball at his feet and distribution and that sort of stuff and keeping it cool at the back, he would probably help a melter player like Slabbo Maguire to some degree. But I hope you're wrong there, Mikey, when you say that you can see him staying. I really hope you're wrong. The Vutinator, thank you for the likes tally, mate. He says we got 162 likes on the stream. Thank you, every one of you, for hitting that like button. Please do continue to smash that thumbs up if you haven't done so. Hit the likes. Let's see if we can get this sucker to 200 likes. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm just going to have a look at some of the latest updates that are coming in. Thank you, Rushmana, for sending us this. Yeah, reports are that Mason Mount has indicated he will not sign a new deal and is ready to leave Chelsea on a free if the club reject all bids for him this summer. Chelsea are sort of in a tricky position now. They know that they can lose this guy for nothing in a year's time. And Mason Mount could come to United in 12 months for nothing or anywhere. So I think that they're going to accept that bid. They'd be mad not to. I'll ask the chat, guys, do you think Chelsea will accept or reject our latest bid today, which is believed to be in the region of £55 million up front of £5 million down the line? So 60 million. Do you think they'll accept or reject that? I'm sure they'll accept it. They would be mad to reject it. Also, Chelsea are now evaluating the offer at this moment in time. And they think that Man United think that it's a fair offer for a player that has just 1 year left on his contract. It's more than a fair offer. It's a really generous offer, if you ask me. It's very, very generous for a player who is decent, but that's about it in my humble opinion. But it sounds pretty decent that, you know, it will be likely accepted. We also have a report here from Samuel Luckhurst that says that the new SEG international agency that represents Erik Ten Hag are trying to acquire Rasmus Højlund as a client in anticipation of his transfer. So that's an interesting little point that's just come out this afternoon as well from Samuel Luckhurst. So the SEG International Agency, they're trying to sign him up for their agency, which could be interesting. They also represent Erik Ten Hag. Yeah, look, that one's a little bit interesting in terms of a transfer because you're talking about a really great young player who's got pace and power and all that sort of stuff and goal scoring ability and bags of potential, I would like to see Rasmus Højlund sign for United. Of course I would. The problem there is they're talking about a lot of money. 85 million could be the price tag for Rasmus Højlund. I guess, you know, you got to speculate to accumulate, don't you? Also, new reports say that discussions tonight between the Chelsea owners will be focused on Mason Mount. So we may not know, you know, immediately whether or not it's been accepted. Could be tonight, could be tomorrow, could be in a couple of days' time. But talks will be going on right now behind the scenes at Chelsea, whether or not to accept this offer from Manchester United or whether to reject it and to try and squeeze a little bit more money out of United. But I fundamentally think if Chelsea do not accept this offer, it's just a massive red flag. Walk away, try and find somebody else to invest that money in, because it's not really that much of a sensible sign in any way to spend that amount. New reports suggest that from Fabrizio Romano suggest that Man United's third bid includes better payment terms and conditions than the last one. All parties are very confident to get this deal done. So it looks like Chelsea are confident that it will go through. Man United are confident that it will go through. And Mason Mount reasonably confident as well. So I think it will happen. Like I said earlier, I think it's 95% there, really. There's always a possibility that it could fall down, i.e. Chelsea become greedy and ask for that little bit too much and Man United just walk away. Yeah, there's things that can happen. But realistically, I think this will be Man United's first signing of the summer. Okay, so accept, says Callum. Orlando says accept. Everyone thinks that they'll accept it. Nick Stevenson says accept. Sing Game says, I hope they reject. I do too, because then hopefully we'll walk away and see some sense and maybe try and get Caicedo or Rice or somebody else. Superstar says, if they reject, they'd be mad. Berber says, give Mount a chance, peeps. We have had McFred for years. He's better than those losers. Is he? Is he, though? I mean, I'm not so sure he is that much better. He might be, even if he is marginally better. He's not astronomically better. He's not a huge upgrade. It's not a huge upgrade. It's like upgrading from a Nokia 3210 to a Nokia 3310. You know, there is a bit of an upgrade there. It's a bit more durable. It's a bit lighter. You can play Snake 2 instead of Snake. But other than that, it's not a big leap forward, is it? You know, I mean, I think it is. Except done deal, says Mark Egan. Rejects, says Kieran. Rejects, says Eamon. Okay. One for the older people there, by the way. Some of you youngsters like, what the hell's a Nokia 3210? Anyway, we got an update here on Jurrien Timber as well, folks, while you're here with me. So Jurrien Timber does not have a release clause in his contract. These rumors are not true. Ajax and Arsenal will need to negotiate. Ajax are asking for 60 million euros. But the expectation is that he will get sold between 40 and 50 million euros. This is from Mike Verwey, a very good correspondent for the Telegraph over in Netherlands. And he believes that it will probably be 40 to 50 million euros that it would take to prize Jurrien Timber away from Ajax to Arsenal. And he does not have a release clause in his contract. He's a player that I would like to see us go and sign. So what do you think, guys? Yes or no to Jurrien Timber? Should we try and rival Arsenal for the signing of Timber? I mean, you saw us kind of do it last season, didn't we? I mean, who were the players that were linked with Arsenal, guys, before we signed out? I think Martinez was one, wasn't he? Lisandro Martinez, I believe. Maybe this is my mind playing tricks with me, but I seem to remember Arsenal sniffing around Lisandro Martinez and putting bids in for him, only for United to come in and swoop in and just allow Arsenal essentially to do all the negotiations for us. And then we just swept in and gone and got him out from underneath their noses. I suppose that could happen again. But the problem here is I don't think Timber is really all that keen on joining Manchester United. If he was, he would have probably jumped at the chance last season when we were interested in him. And it's understood that, you know, the Netherlands coach is putting pressure on him, just like the previous coach, Louis van Gaal, did, in order to, trying to make it seem like he needs to go somewhere he's going to get more regular game time. That's it, Callum Curran. Yeah, they bid for Leacher. That was it. I thought I wasn't going mad. They bid for Lisandro Martinez, and we just went in there, and we ended up taking him, didn't we? So, yeah, no defenders yet. Would like mids and forwards prioritised. Yeah, good shout, Eddie. I like your style, mate. Absolutely. We may have to go and get a goalkeeper as well if David De Gea doesn't stay. K Slater says no. How you doing, K Slater? You, Don? I hope you're good. Thank you very much there, the project. Come on, let's get some applause emojis and some love hearts in there for the project. Thank you very much, my friend. He says, just a little Friday contribution to the stream, mate. Top man, that's very nice of you. Thank you so much to the project getting in here raw with a £5 super chat. You must be a fat cat or something, mate. That's a chubby little feline right there. It says just a little Friday contribution to the stream. Thank you so much, bud. That's very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Right, I'm going to get into the Q&A for a minute. Before I do, I'm going to go over to Twitter and shout everyone out who's retweeted us on Twitter. And then we will just get into the Q&A for a few minutes and then wrap up the stream, folks. But it's been a great stream. Thanks, everyone, for getting in here. The big news before we just get into that is, third bid submitted for Mason Mount. We're awaiting a decision from Chelsea whether or not to accept or reject it. And also Onana is being lined up for De Gea, it seems like, with Manchester United meeting with Onana's representatives to discuss the possibility and gauge the interest. So, interesting things happening at United, but not enough, really, not enough. Certainly not enough in terms of players going out either. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Rush Minus says, great background, Pig. Love it. Yeah, well, I just thought I'd use the old StreamYard thing today for no apparent reason at all, just to mix it up a little bit. And, yeah, because I do have this background on my other one as well, but you can't see it as much. So, yeah, it is a great background, though. What's your favorite shirt out of these ones, guys? Some iconic ones. That Cantona one there is fucking awesome, isn't it, mate? Anyway. Hey, Gungshi, what's going on, you handsome bastard? I hope you're doing great, man. What's up, Gungshi Leone? I hope you're having a good one. It's Don Gungshi. Hello to you, sir. He says, hi, Pig and everyone. Sorry I'm late. Better late than never, Don Gungshi. You're late, but you're great. I hope you're having a good one today, dude. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Gungshi. Looks clear as fuck, Pig. That's awesome, the hoop, man. Yeah, so I'm using a different camera. My previous camera is like a DSLR. It is a decent camera, but it's like 12 years old or something. It's a Canon EOS 600D. I bought it for like 100 quid off eBay, and that was probably about 5 years ago now. So it's dated as you like. I'm just using a Logitech StreamCam here, which I think probably does look a little bit better, doesn't it? What do you reckon, guys? Do you prefer this camera or the other camera? New or old? See what you're saying. Lateness is greatness, says Stephanie. Yeah, I actually have had this camera for ages, by the way. It's not actually new. This is the one I took with me on holiday to Spain and stuff. But yeah, always like to hear a bit of feedback. UK Strains is great quality picture, Big. Thank you, UK Strains. And another thing, we're only actually streaming in 720p, which is less than the 1080p that I usually stream in. And if it still looks clearer, then that really does suggest that it's better. Perfect says, okay, that's awesome. New one's very clear, says Nick Stevenson. Thank you, guys. Good camera. Thank you, Eddie. Kung Fu Cantona, what a legend. Leanne Reeson says this one. Thank you, Leanne. Couldn't tell the difference, says Andy Young. Fair play. Well, maybe if you're watching it on like a phone or something, it's harder to tell. New great can. Thank you, Rashad. Looks great, John Boy. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Berber says I'm getting a Mount shirt when the Glazers leave. Mount 7. All right, okay, fair enough. Well, if we do sign him, look, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna just slag him off. I don't really rate him, but I'll give him a chance. But fair enough, yeah. Once the Glazers left, I say fair play. So the new shirt comes out in a few days, doesn't it, for sale? Don't buy it until they've gone. Gungshi, thank you so much for gifting out 5 memberships on the channel. You're a bloody legend, lad. Don Gungshi, thank you so much. For some reason, they don't pop up on here. I can see it on my phone, though, so I can't highlight that. But there is the legend Gungshi. There is the legend Gungshi. Thank you, Gungshi, for your insane generosity all the time. You're a handsome bastard, lad. Appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much, Mr. Gungshi. Let's get a hashtag legend in the live chat for Gungshi. He's just gifted out 5 memberships on the channel and made 5 Bacon Brigadiers dreams come true. Let's have a little look and see who's got them. So Gungshi has gifted a membership to Nick Stevenson and Orlando Arellano and Mr. Leo G and Alex Van Varick and also Jaden MUFC 06. Very worthy people to get it. Get in there, my son. Thank you so much. Rushy says, Mount, in my opinion, is just okay, but if Erik Ten Hag wants him, I'm happy. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm with you on that. I trust Ten Hag. I trust Ten Hag. Gungshi, you're a legend. Thank you so much. I trust Ten Hag. When are the Glazers fucking off, says Kay and Joey? I wish I could tell you the answer to that. I really do. Soon is the thought. Soon, but we have been saying that for a while because it was expected they'd probably be gone by now. It's almost July. This transfer window's been open a long time. I don't know. In terms of a time frame, I would like to think in the next couple of weeks. But you just never know with those guys. Yeah, bringing those flames and that fire for Don Gungshi. Thank you very much, Gungshi. Absolute legend. Right, get your last few comments in then, guys. We've been going for an hour and 15, but get a few more comments in. I'll read a few more out before we wrap the stream up. Once again, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, click the bell icon on and all that. You do need to be subscribed to chat. We've got 177 likes at the moment, so on our way to 200 likes. Thanks everyone for turning out and showing your support for the stream. Being a Man United fan is so stressful, says BG Krishnan. Well said, it really is, isn't it? Well, hopefully it's about to get less stressful once the Glazers have finally gone. What a weight off your mind that will be, though. It will be like, I don't know, Tim Robbins in the Shawshank Redemption after he's managed to escape through the wall and tunnel out of the bloody prison and put a poster of Raquel Welch up to hide them, to hide the hole and all that business. I'm getting a bit too deep into this, but you know what I mean? It'll be like that. It'll be like when he did that and he cooped up for years and years and years. Being, exposed to atrocities inside prison for a crime he didn't commit. That's what the Glazers ownership has been like. Andy Dufresne, that's what I'm talking about, you know what I mean? And then he will finally be free, unleashed to go and just wax his boat in the sun in a tropical place forever. And that's what could potentially happen soon with the Glazers going and new owners coming in. Rushmana says this not signing players isn't new from these parasites. Very well said as well, Rushmana. Absolutely, yeah, spot on. So not new, is it? Every single season this happens, whether or not they're staying. Raquel Lava Welsh says Stephanie Griffith, sorry, yeah. Stephanie Griffith, absolutely. She was pretty fire. Rest in peace. Do you think Pellistri will break into the first team next season? I think he'll be in the squad. I think he'll play more than he did this last season. I don't think he'll get the starting role or anything ahead of Anthony. But yeah, I think he will be playing a lot more games. I can imagine he'll play, 20 games in the Premier League appearances, that is, which is much more than he did this season just gone. So, i.e. a lot of substitute appearances coming for him and a few starts and things like that. I think you'll see him develop this season. Absolutely. Definitely, Bourbon. He says the Glazer ownership feels like shower time at Shawshank. Don't drop the soap, Joel. No, it really does. It really does, Bob. You're absolutely right, sir. That's a good one. Hang on, let me catch up with the chat here. Cash Guy King says, when the Glazers do go, the FA need to make sure no other club can be brought and subjected to what United have been. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, spot on. Well, in terms of leverage takeovers, I think the Premier League sort of unanimously voted recently not to allow that to happen. And I agree, you shouldn't be able to sort of languish a club like Man United or any club with big debts. That's just, it's a shame, really. And any football club, not just the Premier League, but any football club, really, it should be managed properly. You should have, proper fit and proper persons tests done, which they do. But is it really to a high enough standard? What was Berry's owner called again? I forget, but that toe rag, who just bought Berry and just got them in loads of debt. And, obviously there is no Bury Football Club anymore. It's a disgrace. That shouldn't really be allowed to happen. The whole point of having financial fair play is to safeguard teams from outspending beyond their means. And it should be the same with owners buying the football club. You shouldn't be able to get owners in who are going to be so destructive and have the potential to be destructive. Thank you, Mr. Leo G. I appreciate you, boss. Get in there. Tonight's nightmare sword, absolutely. Thank you very much, OKO Francis. Appreciate you, bud. He says, hi, thanks for the best updates on Manchester United. I'm watching you live from Gulu City, Uganda, Africa, mate. Shout out to Uganda. Shout out to you. Shout out to Africa, mate. Much appreciated. We've got people watching all over the world here. That is awesome. Shout out to Uganda, bro. Great United support over there, lad. Thank you for getting in the stream and appreciate the nice comment. Mr. Leo G says, hope you're well. Great to see you too. Thank you, boss. Rushy says, subscribe to the channel. Jay Gill, I am back, mate. Yeah, we've been away a little while, dealing with stuff, and, now we are back. Oh, absolutely, Andy Young. Yeah, that's going to be happening at some point, I'm sure. Get in there, Andy. Jarvis Cocker's an absolute don. Shout out to Jarvis Cocker. Shout out to John Shin, Mick Blue. Who else was there, guys? Maisie, of course, over at Devils United. Griffo Chaz. Eddie's Football Waffle, of course. Bunch of legends. Bunch of absolute legends. Rush Marno says, good and proper owners check on the new owner of United will be no problem. That's true. Bury FC's coming back. Are they really, UK Strains? I hope that's true, lad. Superstar says, the Bury story is so sad, man. How is that allowed to happen? Yeah, it is a disgrace, isn't it? Absolutely. Yeah, definitely, Stephanie. There'll be a massive worldwide conga when these Muppets leave. It's a disgrace and a nonsense. I'd be throwing punches at them. Shout out to the mods. Big shout out to the mods. Absolutely, Nick Stevenson. Always doing a great job around here. So yeah, just quickly before we wrap up, guys, I'm just going to show you the big headlines in case you haven't seen it and you're just getting in. So in regards to Onana, Andre Onana's agent, Albert Botinez, has direct meeting with Manchester United today. Man United are approaching goalkeepers to explore options in case De Gea leaves. Still waiting for a final decision on that one. Inter won't sell Onana for less than 50 million euros with add-ons. So, you know, Onana still on the agenda, maybe if De Gea goes. And there has been a third offer for Mason Mount, which is understood to be 50 million pounds plus 5 in add-ons. Other reports say a little bit more in regards to 60, but, you know, 55 million is around about right, guys. Hopefully we don't have to pay any more than that. That's from David Ornstein, a good source. So, you know, that's really where we're at, guys, with the latest news. I'm going to read a few more comments out, then we'll have to wrap it up. Hey, nice one, Samuel Ndaritu, getting in here from Kenya. He says the show quite insightful. Thank you very much, Samuel Ndaritu. Great to have you here, man. Make sure you subscribe if you happen to be new. That goes for everybody because, you know, we do cover all the latest news in a no bullshit way. Kyle Jansen says, I hope we go through with the Onana signing. I do if De Gea leaves, obviously. I really do if De Gea leaves. Nice one, Diego says, only 16 more likes needed to 200 likes. Jay Gill says, are you doing a FIFA stream today, bro? Watch this space. Outlook good. You wouldn't let them on the bus home, says Mark Egan. Thank you, Kay and Joey. Rajat, no fourth bid, mate. There should not be a fourth bid. If Chelsea reject it, see you later on, Chelsea. We'll leave you hanging there. Do not go in for a fourth bid. That would be a disgrace. Gungshi says, Pig, the beard is looking more majestic by the day. Get that Viking look down. Thank you, mate. I mean, I've got to trim up the sideys and stuff, and it does need a trim. But it is getting there, isn't it, man? I mean, some people may say Viking, some people may say Abu Hamza. But either way, I'll take it. The beard's coming along. Thank you very much, Gungshi Legend. Rushmano, let's go. He says, top show, Pig. Thank you, Rushmano. Costa looks great, says Rashad. He's another great option. Thank you, Corrupt Recordings, especially United Stream. Fat Chinese Gaming says, should you get Onana no matter what? Why is everybody spelling his name with a U all of a sudden? It's Onana with an O. I don't know, maybe Ten Hag, I think, would want that. In an ideal situation, I think it's time to part ways with De Gea. Just for Ten Hag, not for me. I like De Gea. But for how Ten Hag wants to play, maybe he does want that to happen, yeah. White pudding is king, says Bo691. I've never had it. Don't go for a man bun. Well, yeah, I've got sort of like a bit of a ponytail at the back at the moment. It's a bit shy, isn't it? Berber says, oh, Christ, you have a hook for a hand. Thank you, John Boy Cat. He says, great beard. New layout looks amazing. Oh, fair enough, Rajat. Well, I might stick with it for a little while. There's not as much going on, is there? Thank you for subscribing there, OKO Francis. Top man, welcome in, lad. You've done the right thing there. You know it makes sense. The Vutinator says Berber Kane will have to force it. Can't see it at the moment. Hoyland looks more likely. Yeah, that's fair. Withers good for me. Vuti, a proper marksman. Oh, Eva, sorry. Eva's good for me. Vuti, a proper marksman. Yeah, absolutely. Man buns are out this season, says Eamon. I might be getting a haircut soon, actually. I haven't decided yet whether or not to get a haircut for my mum's funeral because I do look like a little bit like someone that's been dragged off the street, don't I? And so I might actually get a haircut, like a proper haircut for my mum's funeral. I don't know yet. Maybe not. I mean, she didn't mind it, this hair, but, you know, if I'm to turn up and actually look reasonably smart, I don't know if they think this is going to really do the job. Stephanie Griffith says United should be sponsored by Not Very Sure. As our decision-making is alarming. Well, thank you, Bell691. Yeah, please do. Thank you, Mark Egan. You what? Thank you, Mark Egan. Says Best United channel on YouTube. Thank you, Mark Egan. Oh, that's cool, Neil Driscoll. Well, hopefully one day they get back then, bro, into the Football League. Awesome deal, not for 150 million. It looks fine. Well, thank you, the Hoop Man. I appreciate that. I don't know. Needs tarting up in some way. Hang on a sec, guys. Let me just have a look at the updates. Rushmano's just sent us a couple more things before we wrap it up. Yep, Simon Stone just reiterating that the third Man United bid for Mason Mount is around £55 million expected. The club set to walk away from the deal if Chelsea don't accept. With a year left, United do not believe a 70 million valuation is realistic. Spot on, really. Yet we'll walk if Chelsea don't accept it. Reports are from Fabrizio Romano that PSG want to sell Kylian Mbappe immediately. Right. But we've got to go and get him then, don't we? Get those shithouse Glazers out, get Sheikh Jassim in, and sign Kylian Mbappe. That'd be amazing. Never mind Harry Kane, never mind Rasmus Højlund, never mind Osimhen. Sorry, but if Mbappe's available and we've got the money, go and bloody get him. Also, Al Hilal over in Saudi Arabia have confirmed that Ruben Neves has joined from Wolves for 55 million euros. Crazy. Yeah, crazy money with 1 year left on his deal. That's actually unbelievable. Saudi Arabia spending a lot of money on bringing some of these players over to their league. It's crazy. Football's gone mad. It's going mad. And that league's going to be pretty stacked. Not overnight, but in a couple of years' time, it probably will be pretty stacked. Berber says, Mbappe available. How many want Rashford up front now? Nobody. But I tell you what we do want. Rashford on the left wing, lad. Do you know what I mean? Rashford on the left wing. That's what we really want. Mbappe and Rashford playing together. Now, that really would be some force up front. That's what we really want there. We can't afford Mbappe's wages, Pig. Maybe if we get rid of, like, De Gea, get rid of a few players. You know, I know what you're saying, though. He is on obscene money. Rashmano says, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much indeed. Left wing for Stoke says, Bubba. Dude, you're harsh. You're harsh. Gungshi, thank you so much for your generosity, gifting out 5 memberships on the channel. We're going to wrap this stream up now, everybody. That's going to be the end of the show. But thank you, every single one of you, for watching the stream. Thank you, every single one of you who've left a like on the stream and shown your support. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. Guys, we're 2 likes off of 200 likes. We only need 2. Who's going to be number 200? Let us know. But yeah, thanks everyone for supporting the show and getting in here with your thoughts and opinions and your comments. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for the banter and thanks for the conversation and the interaction. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com, to read your latest United news. And thank you, all of you, for getting in. You know, Gungshi, Mark Egan, Habib, Berber, Ulster. Hope you're doing good, Ulf793, lad. I hope you're doing great, Mr. Ulster, lad. Mark Egan, Kay Slater, Nick Stevenson, Stephanie Griffith. Oh, yes, get in there, Gungshi. We did it. Baby, we did it. Break out the red panties. It's red panty night. The live chat got us 200 likes. Thank you, Kashkai King, John Boy Cat, Diego, Vincent Makua as well. Thank you, Vincent. The Hoop Man, Boomy, Jay Gill, N. Statham, and Rushmano, and all the legends of the channel, all the moderators, all the members. Keep your eyes peeled for more streams coming later, guys. So I will be doing a FIFA stream late tonight, as planned at the moment. I did actually get up really early today. I did not have a good sleep at all, so might have to have a little cheeky nap if that's to happen, to be fair. But if there's big news tonight, guys, I'm going to have to jump on and talk about the United stuff again with you, which I probably will do around about 9 or 10. So keep a lookout around about then on the channel. We should be coming back on. Look, if Mason Mount gets announced as a done deal or announced as accepted from Chelsea, of course, we're going to jump on and talk about it. And if there's any other big news about Manchester United between now and then, we'll be jumping on and talking about it. So we may well see you shortly. I'll get in there, my son. Thank you very much, Primot. Appreciate you. Says thanks for the report. Thank you, the Vutinator, Legma, the Hoop Man, Boomy, Superstar, Sin Games. Let's go. Fat Chinese Gaming Legend. Come on. You want a better defender? Get Lukaku. And everybody else. Rajat, FJT. Thank you guys for tuning in. Simon Warner. Good to see you. See you later as well, my friend, hopefully. Absolutely. See you later, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Come back after this video is finished. Get your thoughts and opinions in the not live comments. Keep the debate going after the show's finished with your thoughts on anything we've discussed. Mount, do you think he's worth 55 mil? Do you think we should walk away if Chelsea reject the offer? Do you think they'll accept the offer, etc.? Come back and let us know your thoughts and opinions. Get in there, my friends. That's the end of the show, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you a bit later on. Stay classy. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.